Okay, hopefully the stream is back, guys. I'm really sorry about all the technical issues. If obviously if I could, prevent them, I would, but we should be good. We get about one round before each disconnect, so hopefully this goes a little quicker than before. But I gotta go grab a refreshment. I'll be right back, and then we will get jumped into the grand finals here. Okay. Once Zach is back, we can get started.
I'm here.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't see why we can't get started. Do you have any objections, Zach?
Let's roll.
All right. So when the time limit happens, because it will, should just whoever gained the most health win?
There's no time limit. Unless
Shut
you're
up.
imposing an artificial.
We're about to hoodwink them and impose a time limit. No, we're following the official rules, Linoko. I wouldn't. I want to do everything as official as possible because that's what people are used to.
All right. We've gotten started here. Emir went first with a solid 4 build, including a meeting Hanji and a desperate plea. Corey is up, going for a build for himself, including a So Manly on a 5, checks a 4, chooses to fail it. And
Yeah.
let's see what kind of offense Emir is going to put out on turn 2. This looks like double Titanic combat from Corey. So if Andrew aggresses, then we could see Corey ramp quite a bit here early.
Okay. See a wild pussycats. Nothing to gain too much information from in Ymir, but getting a Masho? Okay. Masho concealment to cancel a broken psyche, maybe?
Yeah, I don't think Monstro Concealment actually does a ton in this matchup because most of the things that we care about are at response speed, but you could snipe a Weapon Clash or a Broken Psyche or something.
Yeah,
Save
Broken
Team on it,
Psyche is about the
potentially.
only one I can really think of that seems like a house.
Yeah. Maybe like a Beneath the Armor on a damage pump at some point.
Which one?
Beneath the Armor, the one that can give +2 or -2 damage. I could see doing canceling
Oh,
that
yeah,
one
yeah,
at a
yeah.
key moment.
Like flip once per turn, right?
Yeah. We're gonna build two. I can't quite see what Corey build. Looks like it's just two Emir's regenerations. Is this the 9? It is.
We are gonna
So
flip
Andrew
over
is
at full health. Gonna get a vast strength first.
it's a little late, but we'll let that slide, I think. We're gonna flip over, yeah. And are we gonna lead with a defeating or a Tetra Tear to burn some health? No.
You're gonna draw some cards, I believe. If you have 9 or more, you get to draw 2, or is that the damage pump? The draw 2.
Draw 2. If your opponent has 9, you get the damage pump.
Okay.
So this is just a 6-bit for 4, draw 2.
On turn 3, sounds
Sure.
pretty good.
Yeah, sure.
First attack of the game at 9 foundations. You'll love to see it.
This is just the opposite of Rejuve Smash, right?
Right. Which we could play next, but I think we're sculpting to our pay 3 life attacks, right? The best attacks in the deck are Tetra Terror and Dual Needle Lunge when you're at full health.
And defeating the Colossus Titan. I assume he has that.
Oh, that's the one where you
And
pay 5 life?
We saw him play it in the round we watched earlier, so.
Yeah. That's the one
All right, so Andrew has now drawn 4 cards this turn. Classic universes. Good wholesome, friendly cantripping.
Casual 11 hand size.
Okay, Andrew is playing mismatched number 10 Pro Heroes, and that is where I have to draw the line.
What if he doesn't
You gotta
own them all?
You don't own 4 of a common?
Well, no, but you want to use the promo when you can.
No, if you have 4 of them, use the promo if you can play the whole playset of them.
To be fair, I was supposed to help him finish his playset, but I thought I was getting a playset when I did the season 1 regionals last year, but instead I got one of each promo. So I had already promised Marvin one first. I just thought I was getting like 4 of them. So that's technically my fault.
Okay. All right, so we gotta. Our stage is huge.
Red
this
alert.
Is a good one.
Red alert. We have our first.
This just requires Andrew to invest an attack into it.
Yeah, and this is double-edged, and this is what I figured out playing against my friend Malcolm, who has a great channel on YouTube. He's not here to link it probably, but if he is, feel free to link it in the chat. But he's got a great like retro to standard series and everything, and he plays Tasty Riff Ymir, which I love. I love selective building, getting to 9 fast. You know, it's life symbol card draw. And one of the things Tasty Riff is really good at is aiming at backups. It's so good at hitting backups. And Tetra Terror is also insanely good when you can target a backup. So this might come back to haunt us.
Yeah, I would not be surprised in the least if our first move is Tetra Terror, burn 3 at your backup, grab myself a good 4 diff. Now your backup doesn't do anything, and I am at 14 and free to gain 9 life.
Yeah, and I picked up a 4 diff.
Yeah.
Spoiler, it probably draws cards.
They all draw cards.
So it's 1 Tetra in the discard. Maybe we didn't draw one.
I mean, at worst, if we draw a dual needle, it's the same thing, right?
Oh no.
We're going to the actual moon.
We are disrespecting all of the deadlock.
Well, it doesn't exist. There is
That's
none.
true. Okay, incredible
It's like
display. We
just
like that one.
yeah. Not sure I'm reviewing Devour there, but it's fine.
I'm not sure either, to be honest. You know, this is just a chill game of universes. Just between a couple of chill guys. You know?
Yeah, they took this unkind round thing to a whole new meaning.
It's only like turn 3, turn 4.
Yeah, we've only got 30 total combined foundations on the stage.
That's another Tetra Terror down. We're milling them off pussycats instead of drawing them. And I gotta
Yeah, I
say,
think Andrew's like getting dangerously close to cycling already.
yeah, I mean, you don't have to worry about it till after the first cycle. Then you start worrying. He can blow up his whole stage to put it back, too.
Andrew can blow up his whole stage?
Yeah, he's got Immortal and 2 brief respites.
Okay.
He can power through that. We're going to pay the 3 on
Okay.
Dual Needle Lunge. Dual Needle Lunge is
This
a
is the
5
leadoff.
difficulty, 3 high for 5. That says if you pay 3 life, it goes straight into momentum right after it resolves.
When Emir is going to make it a 5 high for 5. And
Correct.
I have to assume this is being pointed directly at the Jaw Titan.
Yeah, that makes sense. Especially if it doesn't actually kill it. Which now I guess it will, because it looks like we use the Jaw Titan to cancel a life gain
Andrew
effect.
did it? No.
I think, did he do the Ymir? I think he thought it was non-character.
Or he didn't realize it canceled all life gain for the entire turn.
That's true. Well, yeah, it says they cannot gain health this turn. So you can still play the abilities, but you're not going to gain the life. So usually, what's the point?
Yeah, if that's what happened, that's a big mistake from Andrew.
Super unfortunate.
We're going to get the momentum, and he's dealing some damage, but it's letting Corey develop his stage. And the thing about Jaw Titan is it costs 3 to do that ability, so Andrew still needs to invest an attack into it.
Yeah, and we saw he didn't aim the dual needle at it. I have to imagine we're like waiting to cycle all of our good attacks back into our deck, and then meeting Hanji to go digging for them. Because once we find a Tetra Terror, I feel like the game will truly begin.
I mean, the way Andrew postured his hands when Corey started talking, I think Andrew didn't know. Drew definitely knows. I've played him with the attack 87 times. Okay. Dan says he knows. Let's see what Corey does now. Drew doing his deck profile as a stage.
Yeah.
That is 4 copies of Desperate Plea in the stage, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. He's going to build anything he wants on block.
This is a big one. We're gonna lose some. Andrew's gonna lose some foundations to this. It's fairly inconsequential, but he's gonna take some damage off of it. Is the more important part. Oh, Corey, no, buddy, don't do that here. So Corey is responding to the Immortal Shapeshifter. Check a 5 after he has ruined him. And that only makes sense if there's another Jaw Titan in Corey's hand. that we are going to be playing this turn. And Andrew is going to cancel it with the incredible display.
We like cancels. We're big fans of cancels.
It's a big investment from Andrew's side, right? We're spending a momentum. The ready resource doesn't really matter, but because we have 400.
Yeah, because we have 1 million of them.
But the momentum may matter in the long run. And Corey is just going to make this Grish's transformation enormous.
It's a pretty tough board state. I mean, there's a lot of the same thing happening, you know?
Yeah. I mean, Andrew's just gaining a bunch of life. I think I said this before that we may see Emir go back to full life from half at some point.
Right, and if
he's gotten pretty close to it.
And if your game plan is so hinged on like singular attacks like Tetra Tear at this point, it makes a lot of sense, you know, that you, because I'd be a little worried about my life total getting too high, right? But we're about to block this massive throw for half.
Yeah, I mean, this is 19, so he's taking 10 off of this.
Yikes.
This is big. Did I miscount? This is for 11 plus 8. Should be taking 10. Unless Andrew was actually at 19. I just missed a life gain. They both have the same matching life total, so
yeah, they both put it down to 9.
Corey committed a lot of resources to that, so I imagine, yeah, he's not playing another attack. We're just gonna have a build out here. Is that now he's got last second rescue in the discard pile, so any move that isn't for 30 is not real.
It's crazy to think that he could play the 13 diff and like not ruin anything.
Well, he would ruin 7.
Well, no, because he would just Andrew would just destroy all of his face downs. Anyways. Also, we have vast strength, which is the real answer.
But... and stuff.
Yeah, he could like kill his own face downs. In your Raidus, thank you for the follow. All right, come on, Andrew. You've cycled once already. You know you're not winning the long game. Recovery Girl's at full health. You got to put something together this turn.
Surely Andrew could gain 14 life. This is not the opener you want.
But we saw this win. We saw this win once before because he got momentum from meeting Hanji with an opener rejuve. And it doesn't look good, but we've seen it win.
Very true. I don't think his opponent had double Desperate Struggle on board at that point, but
no. You know, his opponent did not have amazing defense on board. But they did have big defense, so...
Yeah, Andrew can obviously navigate this game in a way that is winnable. I mean, I think we acknowledge that Emir can put out 30 very fast. So, you know, this is not closed out by any means. And this move is going to get big. If we start brief respiting plus Immortal Shapeshifting this one could get to like 11.
Absolutely.
Well on its own. I think Andrew brief respited or immortaled and checked a 3 and is deciding whether he wants to pay for it. He didn't. It doesn't look like. We're at storm count 2.
I love that the storm count
3?
is a 20-sided die.
Well, it needs to be in the life version.
No, Andrew does not have 2 Masho concealments. He has a vast strength and a Masho concealment. And then the card under that is from the Deku Challenger. I'm like 90% sure. It's like a 1-div.
Yeah, so the storm count, Corey has the life total 1 off, I think, but the storm count is 4. So this is. Oh, it got 4 damage, and then Corey popped the desperate struggle to put it back to 6, and then started minusing damage. And so it has dealt 2.
Yeah, I think it's like the foil alt of Danger Sense, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. And Corey has taken 2 damage, built in a Titanic combat, and responded with the Titanic combat to build an extra foundation.
Hey, look at the card we drew off meeting Hanji.
It's a cool one.
It's one we're gonna need.
Storm count is now 6, I believe. Seven. Checking 5.
No, still at 7. Still plus 7, 8, 9 damage on everything for the turn.
4. We gonna commit 1 for this one? Do we want it? How bad do we want it, Andrew?
We're down to only face ups.
And we're gonna leave the storm count at 7. But we haven't mirrored this one yet, so the storm count's gonna go to 8.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a 5 high for 13, I believe, at the end of the day. That is going to our momentum when it's done.
Correct. It looks like we started using Warm and Bubbly. We started using the weapon clashes. And we're looking for a foundation to build. What do you build in this situation?
More desperate struggles.
Okay. Looks like we're going for another -2. Here it is. It's Tetra Terror time. If there's any attack that's supposed to win the game for against a character who wants to take damage, this has to be it. Ooh, we hit a 6 on that one. I think the storm count is at 10 or 11.
I think it's at 10.
Okay.
11. Jury? None of this matters.
You did it. You did it to him.
Are we gonna get? I wonder if he's gonna get it down to 0 though.
If this goes to 4, then Weapon Clash puts it to 2, and Beneath the Armor makes it 0. I don't believe Beneath the Armor has a minimum.
It doesn't. Warm and Bubbly also is -2 and doesn't have a minimum.
Yeah,
I don't know if he has a Warm and Bubbly on.
I don't know if a Mortal Shapeshifter has been used, but we might destroy a ready foundation for this.
Yeah. Might have to. If Corey popped it too early. He is building in.
Struggling with studies.
He took 1 off of it. Yeah, so he's just letting him. He's just letting him get the attack because he doesn't. He's not worried about Andrew's ability to actually kill him.
Right, that was kind of my takeaway. Was I thought
infinite referee juries.
Right, and I thought, well, how good could any 4-diff actually be coming out of this deck? But We've got the Mikasa knee smash that we picked up, which is a breaker 2. But most importantly, it's like a 5 high for 7 if you discard a card as a 4 diff. Normally the speed is what's really good about it, but I mean 7 damage all included on a 4 diff is pretty good too.
Yeah, I love Mikasa's Flying Knee Strike. I don't know what it does on this board state other than breaker 2 block on defense. Like at this point, as Andrew, I think I'm just like Immortal Shapeshifter, give it 1, send it for 5. Catch.
Yeah.
You want to start pushing your damage reduction buttons? Like once you use them all, then I'll Emir and
That's
force it.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about earlier, right? Where like the incremental plus ones might stack up, but we only have 1+1 increment. Everything else is coming from Ymir.
Yeah, we have a lot of incremental life gain, just not a lot of incremental damage.
Yeah, if those were 3 immortal shapeshifters instead of 2 brief respites, we might be in business, but it's been pretty tough.
We're gonna finally got a Masho. It did something.
It canceled the struggling with studies, baby. And we finally got a jury response to commit something. That might be huge. I mean, he can maybe build another struggling after taking damage from this Tetra, but it might be huge that we, theoretically have some outside chance of stranding that jury in the card pool. I don't think it's a good chance, but it's a theoretical one. Looks like we hadn't used the shapeshifter on this one yet, so put it to 5 damage. Put it back to 3 damage.
3. Take 3, draw a card, build my struggling.
Right. We committed it, we destroyed it, we flipped it, committed it, destroyed it, built it back. It went through the whole cycle of a foundation's life. It was born again.
As a prison player, I really love these games where like the prison deck is sort of just removing its opponent's ability to win the game, but they do struggle to win the game themselves, and that's why prison has not been super great in universes for a while,
Right.
because cycling takes so long.
Correct. And I also feel like, yeah, so like in other games, you ostensibly have one opportunity to use your card, right? Like if you have 4 copies, you get 1 chance each. If you mill that chance, you don't get to pick it up and play it again typically. If you use it and it gets countered or removed, you typically don't get to pick it up and use it again. But because we cycle in this game, if you can block all 4 copies of an attack and still get hit by it 3 more times in the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention we have a lot of actual discard pile recursion in the last couple sets and products, so that has definitely amplified things. But this is the Mikasa knee smash, right?
Yeah, this is the flying knee smash. It's coming in base 7 speed. I'm not sure if we discarded a card. There's a dice beside it, so I assume we did.
Yeah,
It should
it's
be a
coming
7
in
for
hot.
7. And we're at deadlock, so it's not blockable by high attacks or high blocks. Not that that was ever going to happen anyway, but
Yeah, not that
just in
that
case.
was the game plan.
Are we gonna mill Corey to get rid of the discard pile? Doesn't work.
Ooh, milled a couple attacks off the top. Lucky. Won't draw those. Another one. That's how we win. We loop dual needle lunge.
are we gonna loop it?
I don't know, but that's how we win.
When are we gonna pick it up?
Dark Tournament looms?
Okay. I don't think
that's
that's in our deck.
that's an option.
I mean, we missed that one on the deck registration sheet, so.
Right. Can you imagine getting all the way here and then having the deck list error?
Looks like Corey just took 7 from this one.
Okay.
5? Never mind. Took 5. That's the most damage he's taken all game.
In a single hit, yeah, all game.
Yeah.
What do you build?
This
Desperate
may be
Struggle?
the last foundation he gets to use. Probably. I mean, you don't have one, and that's. I mean, you may build So Manly just to stop the offense. This is a weird one. I don't know about this. Oh, I guess we have a jury in hand. So.
Yeah, we rebuilt the struggling. Here comes another knee smash. The impatience is getting to him. Discard another card.
Sure. I guess.
Alright, it's a casual little 7 high 7. Might get a little bigger, don't know yet.
He can't push the Emir button because then it gets juried.
Yeah.
Corey can't just half block it and take 4. He's got a 1, so he's gonna commit like a decent number of cards on this, but just pass it. Just pass the block.
So it looks like we failed the block and then chose to build it.
Yeah. I just don't know why. Why not just pass the block?
He really wants to get that damage pump, I think, to end the game. Because he can generate a bunch of face downs and then start turning them sideways for, know, unmitigatable damage. That's my best guess. Is he's trying to actually be proactive as a recovery girl, but I don't know if that's what she's good at.
He's getting 4 cards. Oh, he's not reviewing, so he's getting 3 cards. But he's like got to be low on attacks because Andrew milled 3 or 4.
Yeah, and we know one of those is not an attack at least.
What's wild, and I don't think I've seen Corey play the 10 diff, which in my opinion is the best card for Recovery Girl in this 4 diff package.
I definitely feel that way now that last second releases or rescue is a thing. Like having extra momentum for the momentum hate decks is kind of a big deal.
Yeah. All right, so we got a Jaw Titan coming down. We're going back up to 15. Well, I guess we could Vash Strength this, but I doubt we are going to. We're gonna send this to the moon because we have multiple Titanic combats. We've got multiple enormous axes. We've got some beneath the armors. We're gonna easily put this one to 15 or 14 damage, but I don't think we can get. We're obviously not getting it to 28, and Emir is -3 speed, so this is blockable.
Yeah, this is definitely not undoable. It would still be a risk, I'm sure. I doubt we have a +0 block mod.
Yeah, I guess like we're playing play the check a 5 game.
Do we have all 4 enormous axes? I think
It
we
sure looks
do.
like it. Yeah.
That's plus 16 damage. This is definitely 28. If we want it to be. Another 4 damage. Oh, look at
Already
these
has ran out of
dice
dice.
stack up. And another 4 damage. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6.
24. This is 30.
It's
We've done
for
it.
30, baby.
Make
ESPN
it a
the
throw.
Ocho, the
Make it a
30 for 30.
make it a
How Recovery
throw.
Girl one shot you.
Blow up 2 enormous axes. Make it a throw. Rebuild.
Yeah. Yeah, boy. It's a throw
No, we're
now.
just gonna save the enormous axes for next turn.
Imagine if Andrew had the main
We
board. He
checked the
didn't
3 and
even
he went,
pass the check,
"You're
brother.
so dead." That's game 1, Sam. Game
I'm here
1.
for it. That was cool. He built all 4 enormous axes. You didn't believe in him. He was being proactive. He was being aggressive, and it paid off.
Ugh, that was a good game.
That was
He
pretty
choked the
good.
life out of Andrew.
It definitely has that, that sort of uncomfortable vibe where you don't really know where you're at in the game and it's not obvious where to progress. I think Andrew had some pretty good chances there, but you can tell he had to work harder than he wanted to get dual needle lunges and tetra tears into his hand. Whereas if he got to start with those attacks and then, sequence things a little more properly, I think he would have been a lot more happy, don't you think?
Yeah, for sure. And we're going to see what happens after the sideboard here. What life options do you think Andrew is going to be working with to answer this?
Well, so Jaw Titan attacks sounds like it would work. I don't know how effective it is at stopping last second rescue, but it's definitely an idea, right? If you sit on the backup side of it, it shuts down the super powerful last second rescue that where we saw that Godzilla would send 9, 10, 12 damage moves and it's just discard a momentum, discard a momentum and ignore it. So that definitely has some real estate here. I would be looking for anything that can't be reduced on damage or canceling action cards, but the life symbol's not good at either of those things. Pump up isn't even a real answer here because Recovery Girl's not blocking. So I don't know what the life symbol actually has going for it into this matchup. The
Me
only
either.
the only thing I can think of.
Adaptable anatomy?
What's up?
Adaptable anatomy, maybe?
As throw hate, see, I don't think the throw hate's the problem. I think the ability to land 80 damage in a turn and have it turned into 6 damage is the problem. Like, I don't even think the last second rescue was a factor in that first game, although I wouldn't be